Hi folks, and welcome to my review of the Soundpeats Mini Pro. And yet these are a true wireless set of earbuds. They have Bluetooth 5.2. They have AptX Adaptive, which is one of the reasons why I wanted to actually try these out. They have hybrid active noise cancellation, which means they have a transparency mode or an ambient mode it's called, and active noise cancellation. And obviously you can turn it off. They have a gaming mode, and they use the QCC 3040 chipset. And yeah, as usual, full disclaimers, these are actually sent out to me by Soundpeats, so thank you very much. I was not paid to do this video, and all thoughts and opinions are my own. And yeah, let's just get to it. So this is just the packaging. There's that funky reflection there. That's what they look like, and in real life these are actually quite small, as you say the name. So nothing on the bottom, so information on the side, which is kind of important. So use the QCC 3040, like I said, Bluetooth 5.2, AptX Adaptive, SBC and AAC. The adaptive works very well because obviously I've already been using this for quite a bit before this video. 10 meter range, which is about right. 7 hours battery life, up to 21 hours with the charging case. If you use active noise cancellation, you get about 5-ish. At about 60% volume, give or take, and you can charge them maybe 2 to 3 times over. And the charging case is 300 milliamp hours. The case is very small, which I'd like to see. There's some Qualcomm information, just company information there on the website, and yeah, that's it. So let's see what you get. Here's the user guide. I'll do in a separate clip. That's very important because there's a lot of functionality with the buttons. Obviously in there you'd have this, and there's also stickers over the connectors, which look a bit like this. So something like this, there's one over each earbud, so it's hard to miss. Some people, when they get wireless earbuds, like I think some of the KZ models, people forget to take them off. That's very easy to see, so make sure you take them off. Case is very small, LED there. I'll talk about this later on. Type C, no wireless charging. Very, very small. Again, I'll go into more details of that later on. In here, just see them there, is small and large tips. And they are slightly oval shaped. So, if you can see, you can see better on the inside, slightly oval shaped. They come with mediums fitted, and yeah, Type C. So that's it. So I'm going to go over the user guide next, and then just get straight on with the review. So I thought I'll go more in depth with the user guide because it's very important, and these do have a lot of functionality considering there's no app. So everything is done through buttons. They do use touch buttons, but I found them to be fine. Really, I had no issues. So obviously it's in 7 languages, which is kind of cool. Obviously the main European languages and a couple of Asian languages there. How to pair, very straightforward. Basically when you first take them out, it will try and pair automatically. Active noise cancellation and the other modes, hold the left 1.5 seconds. There's a way if you want to reset it, which is very important. So product diagram, basically the button, what the buttons do. Now it does everything apart from you can't do previous track. To be honest, I think because they run out of basically run out of button cases because the buttons do everything. So bear that in mind how they fit. Obviously they've also got volume control on the buds as well. So yeah, previous track is a bit of a pain, but I can probably understand that they couldn't actually do it. So there's the touch controls in text format. Yeah, as you can see, oops, it didn't say there's no previous track, so Q&A there. A little bit of information there, and then it should be into German, I think. Yeah, into German, so yeah. So I've done a microphone test, which I'm going to do next, and then I'll do the review. So yeah, useful guide. Obviously you can pause the video if you have to, but it's very useful to check the button presses because it can be a little bit complicated. So yeah, on to the mic test. This is just our microphone test of the Soundpeats Mini Pro. I'm using them in stereo. I'm in a quiet room. I haven't changed any settings and I'm using Windows 10. And yeah, this is just what they sound like. Normal speaking volume. I'm not shouting, I'm not speaking quietly. It's just normal as you'd probably use them in this kind of situation, and that's it. So you just heard my microphone test. I think they sound okay. Like I said, that was using them in stereo mode. So yeah, so this is what it look like. That there changes colour. So if it's high level battery life, it's green, and then if it's low, it's orange. And that's it. The case is very small, which is great for portable use, and you can charge them 2 to 3 times, like I said before. Obviously USB-C, no wireless charging. To me, that doesn't really matter because I don't have a wireless charger. Case is very compact. Just take them out. Obviously there's the connectors there if you need to try and pair them. This is a side-on view, so obviously that's left, that's right. They do look very similar, but you can see from the top down, that's it. Obviously touch controls, but it seems to work very well, so I'm quite happy with it. So let's talk about the modes. So let's talk about game mode, shall we say, get that first. It gets it to about 60 millisecond, and I found it very useful. I'm not a competitive gamer, so I tried it for casual use. It seems to work fine. I was quite happy with it. I'm not overly critical because I don't use I don't really do mobile gaming, but it seems fine. So I was quite happy with it. So the active noise cancellation I found was good. It's not like as good as like the Sony XM4s, but they're like way more expensive. But for the projected price of these, I'm quite happy with it. Just bear in mind it's not flagship, but it's good enough for what they are. Ambient mode, I found it was okay. I found it should have been a bit louder, but you don't get the hiss. Sometimes some of the ambient modes there's a lot of hiss. This doesn't have that. I was happy that the hiss was low, so the mics wasn't overly boosted, but I think they could have brought the volume up a bit. Obviously you'd have to pause your music for things like that, but yeah, I was quite happy with the modes. They work fine really. So pairing, super easy. You just take them at the case and it'll just pair automatically or connect automatically to a previously paired device, so that's good. Distance, it says about 10 meters, and I had about that. I went a little bit further than that and it started to break up a little bit, but 10 meters again is fine because you'll more likely have your phone in your pocket or it'd be on your body, so I had no issues or anything like that. So let's talk about so the microphone, you just heard the test. I thought it was okay. I had no issues. Like, it does what it's supposed to. I've heard better and I've heard an awful lot worse, so I was quite happy with it. So yeah. So water resistance, I think the IPX5, I think from memory. I didn't try these in any wet conditions, so you'd have to take their word for it. But yeah, they're meant to be, I think, IPX5, but yeah. So comfort is an important one. Comfort for me, I found, was actually quite good. These are very small, so for example, I'm just going to get another earbud. So something really random. KZDQ6S, as you can see, quite a bit smaller. See, so yeah, obviously there's a bit more depth, but height small. So yeah, I had no issues with the fit. But some of these are like overly big, but I do like these a little bit more low key, obviously apart from the big S, but I do like the shape is smaller. Again, I had no issues with it or anything like that. So battery life, like I said, it's 7 hours, and then when the ambient mode, you get about 5-ish, in that kind of ballpark, and then you can charge them about 2 to 3 times from the case, which is fine considering the case is tiny. Now I like that compared to some of the cases are like too big. Like the KZ adapters I've done fairly recent for this video is that case is far too big comparison to something like this, so just bear that in mind. I'm trying to think of anything else. Yeah, so connection's good, latency's good. So yeah, let's talk about sound. So I managed to actually graph these, so I was quite happy about that. So I'm going to overlay the graph now, and they do have a strong treble presence, as you can see. So let's talk about bass. I was expecting to be a bit more bleedy, you know, a lot upper bass, lower mids, but it's surprisingly smooth there, which is strange. But you can see there's like a big bass hit around like 40 hertz to 60 hertz. So these are good for electronic. They have a good thump to them. I prefer to have a little bit less there and a little bit more, as you can see, like the lower mids, upper bass. I'd prefer a little bit more of an elevation, but that's my preference. So yeah, these are energetic, so they're good for electronic. They don't sound muddy or anything like that. They seem to have used, you know, they seem to have used a good driver, which I'm quite happy with. And yeah, so mids are a bit scooped because they do shoot up quite a bit. But on the whole, I think for what they are, I was quite happy with them. Again, like I said, I'd prefer a little bit more body towards the bottom, but it is what it is. It does shoot up, so it does have slightly forward vocals. I was happy with them. Voices did sound realistic and everything like that. Again, like I said, I think they used a decent driver. So treble is bright, as you can see. That's kind of one of my negatives. I'd have felt a bit more balanced, but there's a lot of treble present, as you can see. But at least a positive of that is everything is very clear. So instruments are very forward. Instrument separation I found was also very good. Obviously the 8K peak is from the coupler, so just bear that in mind. They can have some sibilance at times because there's a lot of treble going on. And yeah, I was quite happy. There's a bit much treble than I personally prefer, but the overall tuning I thought was okay. But bear in mind, this isn't just like an IEM. When you buy these, you're buying more of an experience to do everything. It's not like an IEM, which is just sound and then you plug it into whatever. True wireless is a very more of a specific product, so bear that in mind. But I was quite happy with them. It's just a bit too much treble, but it is what it is. Yeah, so let's talk about actual technical performance. I thought the technical performance on these is actually very good. I was actually quite happy with them, and they do everything like what they're supposed to. It's quite good, really. So yeah, so conclusion is, do I recommend these? Yes. It can be a bit much in the treble, as you've just seen, but the overall performance in every aspect is good. I'm not keen that there's no previous track. Now, some people that might not matter to them, or they could just use the phone to go back. But for me, that makes a difference, but it just doesn't have it. I presume they didn't implement that because they just physically couldn't fit it in the control system because it has so much functionality. But yeah, overall performance from the Bluetooth, the pairing, connection, latency, the AptX Adaptive, it all works very well. I'm quite happy with it. And yeah, if I've missed anything, just please let me know in the comments. I think I've covered everything. And yeah, so thank you very much for watching, and yeah, take care.